Hello and good morning. How are you all this morning? I hope you are well. Doing a sound check and a visual check. Is everything visual and auditory? Let me know if you can hear me okay. My microphone is a bit further away today. I'm trying a different setup. And then also let me know if you can hear the music or if it needs to be a little bit louder. Let's move that. Hi Kathy. Hi Evelina. All good. Okay, thank you. How are you all doing this morning? And where are you doodling in from? I would love to hear and see where you're coming in from. And let me know what it is that brought you here today. Why do you feel called to do some doodling? I love this as a regular practice for active meditation purposes, for focus, for calming down my system, for calming down my brain, for warming up my hand and my presence to creativity and the creativity that might happen today after this session. I always start my day actually with a bit of doodling, art journaling in particular, and I find that not only fantastic for creativity and warming up my hand, my pen, my brain, but also just in terms of processing. Doodling, mindful doodling, and also you could also consider it mindless doodling, is a great way just to let go, relax, recenter, process whatever's come before, ready yourself for whatever is coming ahead. And so all round it's a great grounding exercise, and it is highly recommended that you do a doodle a day. A doodle a day keeps the world at bay. Going into poetry. Hi Trish from Boise, Idaho. Yay! So happy to see you today. Yes. Thank you, Trish. We are going to be doing the C in the A to Z of doodling series. Trish, this calms you down and focuses you. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for joining today, and I do hope that you feel calm and focused during and after the session. Hi, Florgie. How are you? Everything is fine. You're doodling in from Hungary. For me, it's calming down thoughts. Yay. Love that. Calming down your thoughts. Welcome. How is it in Hungary today? Is it still very chilly? Let me know. Kathy, Missouri. Yay. And it looks like it's sunny there, judging by your icon. Here to doodle as a mindful way to start my day, calm my mind, and bring me joy and peace. Yes, all the things. Love that. That's exactly what it is. That makes me feel good to think of calming my mind and bringing me joy and peace. CJ, hi, welcome from Northern California. Yay. Have loved tangling for years, the focus it creates. Yes, it is so surprising how much of an impact something so simple as doodling can have on our general well-being. So thank you for joining me this morning, and may the session give you all the good vibes and all the calmness and all the peace and all the creativity and focus and groundedness that you need today. And if it is at the start of your day, hopefully that all follows you through the rest of the day. And if it's at the end of your day, over there in Hungary, Florgie, then may it take all of these good vibes into the weekend for you. So as we always do with these sessions, we'll start with a card just to see if there's anything additional that we'd like to focus on, a reminder to reconnect to something else that is of value to us. Let's have a look-see, and I see, sorry, you're getting the little the back end of my buddy over there. He might show his face later in the doodling session, but yeah, he likes to sit here on the sofa. Oh, there you go, you get a little leg as well. Since I've been moving to the floor desk setup that I've got going on here, he's been enjoying the couch, behind me. Okay, so this is our card. Right. Love that. And this is I feel very apt for me personally. I resonate a lot with this because yesterday I actually wrote for the first time in a long time. Wrote as in write to publish. Shared an article yesterday, and so this is very apt. I record my thoughts, my whimsies, my feelings, and my experiences. When I go back after time, I get a sense of how far I have traveled and an appreciation for the movement of life. Well, isn't that just a lovely reminder of the benefit of journaling? I think that is so apt for all of us. And whether your form of expression is writing or art or music or however, I think it is a wonderful thing to record whatever form of expression speaks to you. So there's your reminder of the value of expressing. So it's rather chilly in Hungary, but the sun is shining next week. The temperature will rise up to 17 to 18 degrees Celsius. That's awesome. Love it. That's the kind of day I think we're having here today in DC by the looks of it. I haven't yet been outside. So, hi Inge. Hi, welcome. Alrighty. So, we are going to, as I said, we are doing our C of the A to Z of doodling. So before we get started with our doodle session, let's just ground ourselves with our little breathing exercise. Get your pen and paper or your iPad or whatever device it is that you might be doodling with if you're doing it digitally, and get yourself comfortable. Take a couple of breaths. It looks like my camera isn't in focus for some reason. I'm not sure why. It wants to focus on my hand. Hopefully it will see. Okay, so as our first breathing exercise to get us into the mode for today's doodling, we're doing a breathing exercise where every in-breath is a horizontal line across the page. And this is a scrap page that is separate to what we're going to be doing the doodling on. So, oh, come on, focus. Why isn't it focusing? I don't know why that's not focusing. That's not useful. 1 second while I just try and figure out why that won't focus. Remove my hand. I want the focus point there. Oh, let me see here. Sorry guys, while I just work out this issue. Oh, there we go. And let's take that off. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, thank you for your patience. Got the focus going. Okay, so as I was saying, so with every... Hi Melissa, welcome. We're just starting. So with every in-breath, you're going to do a horizontal line across the page. And then with every out-breath, you're going to come back on yourself with a dot. And we're going to count 8 dots going back. Okay, so let's do that. Let's say we'll do 8, a series of 8. 8 in-breaths and 8 out-breaths. Okay, so grab whichever pen you want and let us start. Hi Jessica, welcome. We're just starting. You're just in time. Okay, so starting with the first in-breath. And then out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excuse me. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've done too many on my page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sorry, I have a cough. 1 second. Thankfully, I have my water. Okay. So we are grounded, doing our breath, connected. And let's do some doodling. Jessica, hi! You just found an online coloring app I'm obsessed with. Pigment. Ooh, yay! I'm gonna go check that out. Pigment. Let me write that down. Always good. I love inspiration, shared inspiration. A big theme that has come up of late, well, in this last week, is just and I might have spoken about it in our session last week, is about the contagious nature of creativity, and I love that for these sessions. In a week I'm teaching a neurographic art session, and it's all ages, so I'm curious to see how many kids versus adults there will be. That's awesome. Is it going to be online, Jessica, or in person? Yay! I'm going to look for that app. Is it color by number, or do you choose colors yourself? Choose yourself. Awesome. Oh, it'll be at the library. Yay, welcome. I mean, that's fantastic, Jessica. I love doodling at the library. Well done. Yay, I'm excited for you. Okay, so let us get our pages ready for our doodling session. And so as we have always done before, we're going to be drawing. Let me show you an example of one I made earlier. This is an example of one. In fact, I did this at my doodling session at the library. So I offer the same kinds of sessions. So this is the C from that session. So that's what we're aiming for. I will just say that although I draw in digital format and I draw in a dark ink while we're doing this live, I have really been drawn, pardon the pun, to change my line work to white, and I really love that for some reason. I don't know why. Obviously it's not practical to draw it initially that way, but I think from a analog point of view, if you've got one of those white pens, you could go over your initial lines. Maybe you draw the initial line work in pencil or a fine liner, Color it in if you want to, if you feel like doing the same kind of thing, and then you could go over the line work in a white pen, and I'm sure you would get a similar kind of result if you're called to do that. But whatever you've got with you, it's many pens and pencils or just one, that is perfect. It's not about the artwork aesthetic, it is about the process 100%. Okay, so Jessica, oh sorry, before my iPad falls off here, can you share your understanding of layers? I was showing iPad drawings to my son and he was asking me about it. Sure. So it's like the turning of a page. I turn my layers off and on, so I retain what I've done before, and then I turn it off, so it's just one page on top of the other. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I'm not answering properly, but there you go. Let me know. Okay, so we want to draw a C that is big enough for you to be able to fill with the doodle designs on the interior. Doesn't need to be perfect, but you're just going to draw the outline of a C. Jessica, I thought maybe it was different parts of a drawing, but it's actually like building a sketchbook. Yes, it's just additional pages of a sketchbook. Exactly that. And obviously, I can have a whole tutorial about that, about the digital workings of Procreate and that, but I think I'll save that for another session, or maybe I'll do one. I'll share a little tutorial and I'll share the link with you. Okay, so I've also been doing some housekeeping on our little wheel of creativity so that I have simplified. We've just got the 3 wheels here. So if you're new here, I use this as my break from decision making, and the wheel tells us what kind of doodle designs we're going to be doing. So first of all, we need to know how many segments, how many different sections, i.e. how many different designs we're going to do today. So three different doodle designs in our C, and then I have a reference sheet, which again, if you would like to access it, it is available for you. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I should really had this all lined up beforehand. I'm not very good at that. There we go. So we have this reference sheet. Come on. And it's got 3 columns and 17 rows. And based on what the wheel selects determines which designs we're going to fill. So before we get there, let us do our 3 segments in our C. So you can decide however it is that you want to divide up your C into the 3 different parts. Your segmenting lines can be straight or they can be curved. It doesn't matter. It's completely up to you. So just go ahead and make your mark. Oh, I just removed it. There we go. Okay. That's mine. Go ahead and do yours. There we go. Okay, so let's see which doodle design we're going to start with. So we'll start with a column. Column C, how appropriate for today. And row number 12. Okay, so C 12. There we go, and there. So these are like little bubbles almost, I want to say. Can you see that okay? Let me just bring this side. Can you see that? It's these kind of bubbly shapes, and we're going to add like little highlights as if light is falling on them. These will be great for coloring in. So, you know, coloring in the actual bubble and then putting a white either putting a white little highlight there or leaving out that gap completely. So if you wanted to, you could do the shape of the highlight in pencil so that you can erase it after the fact. Completely up to you. I'm just giving you inspiration, your choice completely. But that's the doodle design that we're going to start with. So you can choose where exactly you want your little bubbles to go, which piece you want it to go in. And it is a simple case of just making all of these irregular, squishy, kind of bubbly shapes. And they kind of conform or mold up against whatever edge they come into proximity to. There is no right, there is no wrong. They kind of look maybe cobblestony. But they've got rounded edges. And if you don't round the edges while you're doing the outline, you can always round off the edges when you fill in the negative spaces in between. So don't worry if they're not looking quite bubbly right now in this instance. And you could even have joined the lines up if you wanted to, and that'll give the effect of the gaps between them being smaller. So I'm going to actually start doing that. And then, as this is a practice in mindfulness, just notice how you're breathing. Notice how you're holding your pen. Notice what thoughts are popping up. If any of those thoughts are judging. And just notice that judgment with interest if it is there. So much of the mindfulness work we need to do is just about accepting and, being aware, not trying to force those thoughts not to be there in the first place. Because in the noticing and the awareness, that is the processing. That is the work. Okay, mine kind of was a bit spaced out in the beginning and has since gone closer together, and that's okay. And once you have filled your space, you can then start to add your highlights. And I like to think, although I didn't do that in the example, but I kind of imagine where is the light source coming from in one direction from one direction. I'm going to say, because I actually do have a light to that side, so I'm going to say my light source is over there. So all my highlights are going to be on that side. All reflecting the light from that direction. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Hi Chantal, morning. What platform am I using? What I'm drawing on is Procreate. It's an app, a drawing app available only on Apple, I believe. But there are many different kinds of digital drawing apps available. For my daily art journaling, where I do many of my daily doodles, I use GoodNotes, which is, I believe, available for Android as well. Or you can use Notability, which is very similar. And again, when you're drawing the highlights, don't worry too much about the shape or the accuracy of the highlight, because if you do choose to color in after the fact, you can always mold the highlights to your liking if you've done it in pencil. Obviously in digital it's much easier to manipulate. And as we've only got 3 different designs today, maybe we'll get to coloring together as well. If we don't get there, then that's always the invitation I leave you with, to continue with your doodle piece until it feels done to you. It feels like a really easy peasy doodle design. So I'm finished with mine. Let me know if you're done. Of course, it also depends on how big your little bubbly shapes are. If you've started really small, then you're going to have a lot more. It'll take a bit longer to do. That's okay, completely up to you. And if you're finished, you can sit back and just contemplate what your C represents for you. What is something that you can appreciate, something that you might be reflecting on, or something that you intend that starts with C. And the invitation is to let those things come up while you're doodling and write them down as part of the mindful practice of doodling as well. So for me, chocolate, it's got to be. I'm grateful for chocolate. I'm grateful for coffee. Cookies. Very healthy. I'm grateful for creativity. And just write down whatever comes up for you as you kind of release and let go of adulting and reconnect to the simple practice of doodling. Oh, let's see. I want to see. Yay. Inga, conscious, being conscious. Yes. Kathy, calm. Oh, that's a good one as well. Florida, colorful. Yes. Oh my goodness, you guys. So good. Creativity. Yeah. I tell you, the power of creativity. I'm being more and more inspired by and motivated by creativity. Marielle, hi. You're blackening the tiny spaces between. Fantastic. Go ahead. Fill in the negative space. Yes. CJ, calm, creative, and comfort. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Cats. Of course, cats. Yes, I want to steal so many of these. Calm. Connection. That's a good one, Trish. Yes. Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Fantastic. Okay. So, yes, very much as Marielle said, you can fill in the negative space in between and continue to think about what your C stands for. Hi, Nish. Glad to have you here. I do find the filling in of the negative space very satisfying. It's like it's pulling it all together. It's grounding the doodle design. And this is also where you can start to round out the shapes a bit more if you need to. Remember to take deep breaths. Love how soothing this practice is. To be on this, right? Give yourself a commercial break from the day. Give yourself a commercial break from the outside world. And by that I mean a break from the commercial outside world. My video using a little bit. Oh, Catalyst for Change melody. That's fantastic. C. Catalyst for Change. I love that. Chantel, it's interesting to consider doing this digitally. There is something about feeling the paper and smelling the paint or ink And the feel of ink gliding onto the page and having something physical to hold on to afterwards. I will have to see how digital works. Maybe there is an ease and quickness that will come, maybe even more willingness because it isn't permanent. It is such a fantastic experiment to try, and why I choose to do it digitally is because, to me, doing it digitally, first and foremost, keeps things organized. My brain doesn't like clutter. Clutter adds anxiety. I feel very much the effects of clutter in the form of anxiety. And when I can do my art digitally or my practices digitally, it's neat and tidy, and the physical manifestation of the creations is minimalist. It is, I don't have to pack it away, and I don't have all the supplies all over the place. So it is a personal preference, and it is a, being very aware of your values and the effect of either the sensory experience while you're creating the art, or the experience and the impact when you're not creating the art, if you know what I mean. Some people thrive in, what comes to mind if I think of an artist studio filled to the brim with paintbrushes and paints and papers and all sorts of ephemera. It's such a great word. I love it, and I can understand the appeal, but for me it does trigger anxiety, and I'm very aware of that. And so I can appreciate it, and I can admire somebody else's creative clutter for what it is, because it kind of represents creative freedom. Love that. But for me personally, it generates anxiety, and I wouldn't be able to have that. So it is very much a personal thing. And then you talk about the permanence as well. Yes, it's an interesting, because I do watch myself, especially when I do these live sessions, that there is very much a desire to correct things, but these live sessions, and knowing that some people are doing this in an analog way, it has taught me to not correct myself, if you know what I mean. Like, it would be very easy for me to undo and redo with intention, purposefully, but I purposefully don't do that. And I love that. So it's like a self-imposed permanence. And I think there's a lesson in acceptance there, and the antithesis of perfection. It also depends on what you're doing, I suppose. If you're doing illustration, and who you're doing that for, versus like these doodle sessions that are not about the aesthetic, it's about the process and the self-awareness and how you feel. It seems like you could be very freeing, as you could simply make many, many things. Yes, exactly. So, exactly that. And yet, the clutter isn't there. Yes, freedom from clutter. Love that for you, yes. And it could also give one the opportunity to do many iterations of the same thing. Yeah, as an example, I'll show you. I like to draw dogs. busy working on that one. And here is one that I worked on. I don't know if you can see. There's another version of it. This is from a photo reference. And that's another version of it. That's another one I'm busy working on. Oh, and there's another version of it. So yes, it does give you the opportunity. There's no holds bar on like practice. You get to practice, unlimited practice. It's fantastic. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move on to the next doodle. How's everyone doing? The next doodle design. Let us see. So we'll start with a row. Trish. So row number 13. I'll read that shortly. And then column 13B. Okay, so here's row. Oh, juicy. And column B, it is this drippy, gooey. What do we think that is? Is it paint? Is it syrup? Is it... What comes to mind for you? Jam? Jelly? Yeah. Trish, that's my thought. I love the touch and feel of this analog art, but I am now curious about digital for things happening in my work where I want some do-overs. Yes, 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 yes. Jessica, I love how this is looking. Fantastic. Hot fudge, yes. Could be hot chocolate, given that it is our C, our letter C. Yes. Inside intestines. Those are the little polyps and things. That's an approach, Evelina. Thank you. Funny. Coral. Ooh, makes you think of coral. That's nice. Love that, Howard. I didn't see that one. Soap on a sponge. Yes, okay, I see that. It could be the side of a cake with all the jam oozing out of a cake. Howard, magma in slow motion. Yes. Okay, I love that. All right, decide which section of your last two sections. So we're going to do your whatever drippy thing that is. And I like to start, I'm going to do mine on the top. I feel like it's going to drip down from the top of my C. So thinking just of gravity and how it might naturally fall, I'm just gonna different shapes, different sizes of drips. Completely up to you. As I'm drawing this, I'm thinking of the uvula. Oh, my hand slipped. Do a long one. Okay. Here's my initial. It seems like we're doing lots of light reflecting, which is lovely. So bear that in mind when you're doing your light reflections. You may want to have the highlights coming from the same direction. So as you've got your little drippy bits, then you can have your little circular blobs. Maybe they're also a little bit tear-shaped or drop-shaped. Random sizes. And shapes. Chantel, thank you. Have to go pop off and I will be sure to find your next session. Are you going daily through the alphabet or weekly? It's weekly. So every Friday at this time. And yes, we alternate actually. Every Friday we do a doodle session, but one day is just a random designs, and then alternate weeks is alphabet. So thank you for joining. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And keep thinking about what C represents for you. What are you grateful for? What are you reflecting on that starts with C? What do you need to process, basically? Or what are you intending? I think I'm intending some chocolate later today. Okay. Once you've got your outlines, then you can start mapping out where your highlights are going to be. If you wanted to color in fact, yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to color in my drops and then leave the gap for the highlight, making it up as we go along. I will need to erase. That might be a way as well for you if you're doing this in pencil, and then you can just erase the highlight into place like that. Just another approach. I'll come prepared next time. You two have a wonderful weekend. Grateful for Chantel. Yay. Calm, chocolate, creativity, caresses, my car, being a crazy, wild at times, etc., etc. Have a great day, everyone. Wonderful. Love it. I can't see what you're doing because your hand and pen is covering the paper and the design. Sorry about that. There you go. I'll start on this side so that you can have a look. Criticism, that begins with C. Yes, that's something certainly to reflect on for sure. And how do we respond to criticism? Absolutely. It's such a valuable C to reflect on. Like, how do we let it affect us, and what do we let it mean? Do we take it on board? Do we take the lesson? That's such a good reflection. Thank you, Howard. Something to consider. And something really good to practice. I know, obviously, we know ourselves. We know how we normally respond, and I know that my unaware version of me jumps to defensiveness, but I've definitely been working on and practicing a reframe when it comes to that. And when it comes to criticism, and jumping to the gift, the lesson, the opportunity first. Oh, I love how this is coming out. It's very satisfying. Constructive criticism, yes. As long as it comes from a place of love, assistance, growth opportunity. Do love that. There's something, I mean, this could literally be like watching paint dry. Do you realize that? Could you please share with me what the gift and opportunity is for you? And I'm asking so that I can learn for myself. Thank you very much. With regard to Howard specifically, are you referring to, in general, receiving criticism? Or, for instance, like you saying that you couldn't... Okay, so in general. So the gift and opportunity being, in general, I would say, the gift of criticism is being made aware of something in general. Yes, how I work with it, great. So the gift is being made aware of something, because I think we all, well, not I think, I know we all have blinders to certain aspects of our behavior, and that we perhaps assume others are always wrong and we are always right. And so the gift is being made aware of a different point of view or something that we're not seeing. And then the opportunity is deciding, what do we do with that awareness? What do we do now that we've been made aware of this? Do we accept it? Does it land for us? Do we agree if we're really honest with ourselves? Do we want to know more and go and research? Do we want to reflect? So the opportunity could be just, okay, well, let me sit with that information and see how I feel about it. Do I agree with it or do I disagree with it? And I think that's, that's how I hope always. I certainly wouldn't get it right every time, but always to certainly since I've been doing this doodling work, that's the kind of thing that I would reflect on in my art journal. So I received this kind of criticism today. It made me feel XYZ. Why does it make me feel that way? Is it true? Is it useful? And yeah, do I want to take it on board, or is this an opportunity to let it go? Because sometimes we certainly have to flex that muscle as well, of not taking on other people's opinions, not taking it to heart. I had last week, I've got a little YouTube channel that I share like travel videos on, just our little adventures, and I have a series on there from when my husband and I did a road trip from DC to San Francisco. And last weekend some stranger was on our channel watching all our videos and leaving snarky comments along the line, like not terrible, but along the lines of, you're in the desert, of course it's gonna be hot, what did you think? And of course I put the inflection into his words, because I don't know if that is how he intended it when he wrote it. And I watched how I felt when I first saw the comments, witnessed what I was feeling, acknowledged what I was feeling, and then decided, like took the opportunity to decide how and if to respond. And in the end I did. I responded, and I was like, you're absolutely right. We were pointing out the obvious, or along those lines. And it was quite impactful. The gift in that was that, well, there was definitely two gifts from a stranger leaving comments on a YouTube video. The practical gift is, well, the algorithm loves comments. So I thanked him mentally thank you for leaving a comment. But the other gift for me and my personal growth was, isn't that interesting? I witnessed my own response to a complete stranger giving an unsolicited opinion. And it wasn't scary. I didn't take it to heart. And that was a good, like, flex experience, like a practice, a going to the gym, an emotional gym workout. So he gave me a gift. Alrighty. How are your drippy, gloopy, bubbly things coming along? I'm liking this process of doing the highlights with the coloring in. Not getting it perfect, but I like the overall effect. There we go. How is that? You're most welcome, Howard. Great question. Thank you for that. Okay. How is your gloopy, syrupy, chocolatey thing going? Shall we move on to the final one? Ooh, I like how this is coming out. Not that it's about the aesthetic, it is about the process. Let's do a check-in. How are you feeling? Do you need to move your body? Do you need to shift? Do you need to stretch? Do you need to breathe? Do you have any other C words that you're grateful for, that you're reflecting on, that you're intended? Celebration. I intend to celebrate today. Oh, I love that this has come up. Celebrate Today is my 16th wedding anniversary. Yay! And although we're not doing anything today, we are going away next week. Yay! Florgy, colors, care, continuity. Yes, cozy, courage. Oh, love that. Claire, care and compassion. Yes. We need more of that. Fantastic. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Okay, let's move on to our final design, shall we? Coexistence community. That's awesome, Howard. Oh my goodness. Deep. Love that. And Florgy, clarity. Yes. Such good things. Such good things. Okay. Our final design is in column A and row 15. Row 15. So column A. Let's see. So the first column, and ooh, that's a nice one. Very soothing. I think I shared last week. I love these kinds of line patterns. Can you see that? That's what that looks like. So that's what we're aiming for. So we start from the outside, do our main like shape edges, and then we just kind of layer edges going in. I'm not sure what that looks like. Again, I mean, this could be Evelina's intestinal tract, but I don't know what else it might be, like plants or something. But yeah, so from the outside, and we're going to just layer in and then follow the curve of the lines. Okay. Going on to our final. Trish, courage to do this. I have never doodled until I joined our art doodle class a few weeks ago. Fantastic. Yay, Trish. Yay to courage. Love that. Melinda, hello. First time. Get with you, and this looks so cool. Yay. Thank you and welcome, Melinda. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Most welcome. Okay, so we're going to start with our random shapes. These shapes today are all very organic and imperfect. And you can decide how big or how small you want them to be. The smaller they are, the more intricate the line work on the inside will be. So just making shapes all the way around the edge of the final container. And then we're going to start layering on the inside. Going in. Okay. When you've got all your big shapes, then you want to come and start doing the internal line work. So you're just going to follow the curve of the container that you're filling. Oh, I've changed it. Eraser. They don't need to be perfect. So that's what we're doing. Thank you for the love. Oh, I'm trying to do this so my hand isn't in the way. Clearly not doing a very good job. There we go. If you do have finer pens, pencils, by all means, you could make your lines thinner. To notice how you're holding yourself. Take a deep breath if you need to. Move your page around if you need to. Quick question. Abigail, quick question about the pen. So I got one, I think it came with 2 extra tips, so I would probably need to look for refills when the time comes. Mine's off-brand one, does that sound correct? Yes. The Apple pens are like that as well. You do have to replace the tips. And it very much depends on what screen cover you have. So if you've got like a paper-like cover, screen protector, it feels like paper, it's quite rough. And I used to go through the tips of my pen a lot. I had to replace them every few months because I just wore them out. I don't have a paper-like screen protector on this particular iPad, so I expect the tip to last a bit longer, but yes, they do wear out, so you do need to replace them. I had to switch to a fine pen, and the outlines fine tip Sharpie looks good. Yes, it's very satisfying. These I find them personally very satisfying, these kind of wavy lines, and it's nice when you do a fine liner. The repetitive nature of this design and the organic movement, I guess it's a hand thing as well. It's just very soothing. And what I particularly like with these repetitive line doodles is that it doesn't matter if your lines are wonky. It just makes it more interesting because then you've got an additional bump to flow with. So I love that. Okay. Woohoo. How is your C coming along? Look at that. I like that. So of course the invitation, if you are still busy, continue with your doodle design, or if you feel called to continue filling in one of your previous doodle design, one of the previous designs, go ahead and do that. Or you might feel called to start coloring in if you choose to. You don't have to. I'm going to add some more bubbles here. What I often like to do on my page is then, once I've done and before I start coloring, I like to just take a very fine line pen. I will do this because I can digitally, and just do some straight but squiggly lines as my background. I just like to fill up the page so that the whole page is the artwork. And I do love the imperfectness. I'm also very mindful when I do these lines how hard I'm holding onto the pen, so I try and remind myself to loosen my grip, loosen my whole body in fact, because I feel, ooh, I do feel the effects of trying to do a straight line. This will help as well. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, of course. I do find it, if you're drawing on your iPad, I find it useful to have a little one of these cloths from when you get sunglasses. When you buy sunglasses, I find it useful just to help your hand glide, because your skin can get stuck on the glass. Okay, and as our time starts to draw to a close, reflect on all the C words that have popped up for you today. Shine the light of awareness on them. Acknowledge them. And also thank yourself for doing this. This is a gift for your nervous system. It's a gift for your body. It's a gift for your mind. It's a gift for your emotional being. There you go. There you go. How is everybody feeling? Kathy, been joining you the last few weeks and absolutely enjoy it. Fantastic. Look forward to it all week long. Yay. Thank you for being here and offering this. You are so welcome. Thank you for being here. Creativity is contagious and connection is contagious, and we need others to be able to connect. And although this as a personal practice is a means to connect with ourselves, isn't it just so wonderful that we can connect with others while we're connecting with ourselves? So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate it. You guys have given me purpose, seriously, joining these doodle sessions. And it's something I look forward to every week as well, just so that you know. And I hope as well, my hope and intention is that you do continue to do the doodling practice on your own any time of the week, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Oh dear. Sorry. They know. Hey, Chancellor, no, sorry. The beauty of a live session. The beauty of a live session. And they never bark, can I just tell you, the timing is perfect. Sorry about the loud end to this session. I hope that you have enjoyed the calm and the doodle. We will be doing this again the same time and the same place next week at 10 o'clock EST time, so wherever that is for you, wherever you are tuning in from. If you would like to get your hands on the reference sheet that we were using, you can just follow the link in my profile. In fact, I have a means of showing you. I believe we have boys, please, boys. I have a means here. There we go. If you head on to my profile, and then you can get the link, and it is all in Substack. So there's I have a profile on Substack called The Never Ending Novice, and we have a chat. So if you want to get the reference sheet, you can head on over to my publication there and grab that for yourself. Completely free, and I don't even need your email address. You do need to sign up, I believe, to Substack though. All right, but that is it. Let me go and tend to these boys. They've been keeping calm for an hour and a half now, so I've got to give them their dues. Hey Levi, you love to draw dogs also. Me too. I mean, I'm obsessed. I'm in fact dogs and cats. I really, this is the one I'm currently working on, and this is again thanks to my wheel of creativity. I would never have come up with this concept, but I use my wheel to help me with figuring out what it is exactly that I'm going to draw, because I feel like, yeah, it just opens up the tap of creativity for me. Fantastic. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, CJ. Lovely focus and context while we create. I'm so glad you get that. I'm so glad. And I love the balance of like quiet time, but then also just a little bit of chit chat as well. Let me know, like give me, on the back of Howard's comment, give me constructive criticism as well. What could be better? What could be improved? because that is a gift to me and I am open to the opportunity. So please do let me know. And otherwise, I will see you again next week, Friday. Thank you, everyone. So lovely to work with you as well. Thank you. Love things just how they are. Fantastic. Perfect amount of quiet time and chit chat. Yes, thank you. I'm glad. It's relaxing, and the music does add a lot to it. Do not discount the impact of environment and everything in that environment. All your senses are engaged here. So I'm so glad. Thank you, everyone, and have yourself a fantastic weekend. See you again next Friday. Bye.